Correct, politically incorrect, Jack Jackson. Yes, pardon me. I've just been corrected. It's politically incorrectable. Politically incorrectable, Jack Jackson.
Welcome, class. I'm Professor P.C. White. And this is Political Science 000. Inclusiveness, diversity, and speech. You are all here today because you're racist, sexist, homophobes, and bigots. Pardon me, Professor. I'm the only one here. Yes, I'm heartened to see that we have a larger class this semester. And thus more diverse, though not as diverse as I would like. In today's class, I'm going to teach you the 8 rules for inclusive speech. Rule 1, be careful when addressing others and talking to others. Professor, I don't understand. We talk to others, and we talk about others all the time. That's right, young man. That's why this is rule number 1, and most important. Rule number 2. Avoid language that addresses only one demographic group, unless it's intended for that group only. Say man or mankind would be wrong when you can say all people. Excuse me again, Professor. If I quote Neil Armstrong and I say, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, am I wrong? That, young man, is an unfortunate part of our past. Yes, it is wrong. Refer to rule number 1. Rule number 3, avoid expressions that are derogatory with regard to physical or mental abilities. Do not use handicapped or retarded. Excuse me again, Professor. My dad was injured in a construction accident. He calls himself crippled. Who decides what's derogatory? Can I call him crippled? No, young man. Crippled is obviously derogatory. The victim decides what terms are derogatory. Rule number 4, be sensitive to inferences people may read into the words you choose. But Professor, how do I read people's minds and know what inferences that they're going to find in my words? I hope that's not a serious question, young man. Again, refer to rule number 1. Rule number 5, avoid the use of religious terms when speaking to groups that may include people of different religions. Professor, I really don't understand. Does that mean we really shouldn't use religious terms at all when we're speaking to groups? Ha! Young man, that is the most intelligent question you have asked. You may have some hope of learning this material. Professor, if I learn this material, does that mean I won't be a racist or a sexist or a homophobe or a bigot? Professor, quiet. Wait, young man. No, unfortunately not. We must continue. Be patient. I see we're running out of time. I will go to rule number 8. It is the clincher. Respect every individual's right to choose the language and words and best describe their race, class, sex, gender, sexual orientation, or physical ability. Ah, Professor, I understand. And now I know I must drop this class because I'm a Redskins fan. And I occasionally smoke a cigar. And that offends some people. And as to my race, well, I'm a Scots-Irish, and you're a Scots-Irish when you marry another Scots-Irish. My maternal grandfather was an American Indian. I guess that's a derogatory term now. But he was Scots-Irish. And I've learned today that even the word human is not inclusive. And Professor, I was raised to believe that in America, that class was an obnoxious sort of notion, that all people were created equal, at least under the law. And as for gender, well, if I can choose my gender, maybe I'll choose to be a woman, but I'm hung like a man, or like a lesbian, or like a bisexual woman, or even a pansexual, if you know what I mean. Not that I'm a bisexual. I'm not pretty enough for that. But Estee Lauder is my perfume. And straight, it's such a derogatory term. I can't use that. I had a girlfriend who said I was sexually confused. But I think she wanted to be the top in the relationship and not the bottom. If I get to choose my sexual orientation, I think I'll choose to be a cross-dressing lesbian. But that club is so hard to join, given my physical limitations. What to do? I really, really like girls. So, and in terms of my physicality, well, you can just call me the Punisher. Because there's so many bad girls out there who need to be spanked. I think I see one here. So why don't you come up sometime and see me? And Professor, please refer to rule number 1.
Careful with that whip.